You're frustrated because your son can't get off the nipple. Like, you got to let him grow up.
How is he on my nipple?
Hey Ed, this is called a mirror? Well, hello 90 Day fans. First of all, I want to say thank you all so much for all the support on my last video. I did not expect that. It came out of left field, but I love it. I love each and every one of you, and thank you so much for all the support. It's been a crazy week so far, but yo, here we are. The tell-all, the first part at least. It did not disappoint. Let's check it out. So it's kind of weird. It starts off, we see Colt, we see Danielle appear, and then they just have some weird interaction.
Like a dress. We kind of match.
Yeah, a little bit.
I love Danielle, but she is cringy.
She's cringy? I mean, you are the king of cringe. What are you talking about? As the trailer showed us, Ed and Liz indeed did not come together. Apparently, they've actually been split up for months. We also see that Ed actually doesn't want Liz to be there, which, to me, I think that means that he did something. And he also brings up this weird comment. He's like, she wasn't brought up to actually love, she was brought up to fight? What are you talking about? And on that note, I kind of realized that Ed and Colt are kind of the same person. It's like, Colt will someday grow up to be Ed. It's really weird. He even does the same thing where it's never his fault, it's always the other person, they're the crazy one, but I'll let you guys make your own speculation. Leave it in the comments, let me know what you think about these two. The next person that appears would be Fernando, and she's actually quite scared because the last time she was on a tell-all with Colt, they did not have a good reaction to each other. Larissa was around in those times and they just went off. It was crazy, I remember that. But one of the weirdest things I've seen, Ed actually took a liking to Fernando, which is kind of creepy, and just watch the clip.
Little crush on her, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Nice to meet
Oh my
you
God,
as well.
you're beautiful.
Thank you.
And you're
Appreciate
tall.
that.
I think she's a total knockout, you know.
You know what, Ed? I think the best match for you is Baby Love. Does anyone remember her? And if not, if that's too old for you, let's say, maybe Brittany's better for you. What's actually pretty funny is that Colt, his reaction to Fernando not talking to him is that maybe all women hate him, which is probably true. But you know what, speaking of Brittany, I think the reason she's not showing up, and some of the other cast members think this as well, is maybe she feels that the boyfriends will be there at this, and she just can't face the embarrassment, or just being put out on the spot there. On the positive side of things, Molly and Kelly look like they're actually doing well, minus the baby issue, of course, but I actually think that Kelly's a good guy for her, so hopefully they work things out.
So everything she said is true.
If you're going to end up watching this tell-all, you're going to see this a lot. Ed, it turns out when the spotlight's on him and when shots are fired at him, he just balls up and cries. Because he kind of uses it as, I guess, a self-defense mechanism. And yeah, it actually worked on me when I first saw this guy. But yeah, you're going to see that he's pretty despicable. One thing of note, the producers always bring up Muhammad. I mean, you guys don't always have to bring him up just because Danielle's around. I think that kind of triggers her and then she either says something crazy or does something crazy. Just drop the whole Muhammad thing. Let her move on. Okay, so they start off with Ed and Liz. It turns out that Ed and Liz broke up a month ago. And they've been on and off for a few months actually, and it was a very, very awkward segment. It was one of the most emotional segments I've ever seen on a tell-all. Like, there was so much crying and so much awkward silence because I don't know if it's the editing or just they wanted to show how bad the situation was, I guess. The reason they split up, though, it seems, as we all guessed, was due to him rushing the relationship and using manipulation to get her to speed up to his pace, which obviously is not right. We find out that he went to Vegas right after they split, and he went there to hang out with women, and he even sent texts to rub it in her face. What I don't get, though, is, like, this applies to Colt as well. What do women see in this guy? Like, he is not a good dude at all. And like I was alluding to earlier, Big Ed, he does all these bad things, but when he's caught, he's apologetic and he seeks sympathy, just like Colt. And, you know, when they fight, he threatened her and he told her to leave, which that's just not something you want to do to someone that's mad at you. Because in the end, she had too much and she decided to leave.
You're tricking Liz here. You gave her all this crap while you're all having fun with all the sugar babies. What the fuck is she supposed to do?
But you know what? To give him some credit, Colt's actually speaking the truth right here. Something about Ed, though, that I've always wondered, maybe some of the other characters on these shows as well, maybe it's just a gimmick? Like, is he actually like he is on the show, or is he playing it up for the cameras? Either way, we do find out he is pretty narcissistic, as he has a shower curtain of himself.
I walk into your bathroom and it's a picture of your face.
In the bathroom?
So not only are you an asshole, you're a self-absorbed asshole.
I know I have a big shower curtain with my face on it. Okay, that, I'll give you that.
Molly hit it right on the head there. Oh, looky here, Terence is there. I feel bad for him because Brittany's clearly using him. The fact that she is just not answering anyone's calls and blocked Terence, she's just not a good person in general, but he's just way too nice for her. I think he's with her because he's desperate, as sad as that sounds. I really hate Brittany. I know hate is a strong word, but just listen to the things she says and look at the things that she does to people. I came to the same conclusion, though, that the cast did. I think she's using him in a rotation of men, as sad as that is. Both Terence and Yazan say that she's selfish, moody, and confusing, which I don't think they need to tell us that. We kind of came to that conclusion. Needless to say, they are broken up, though. And as far as we know, she's also broken up with the other two guys that were on the season. But that's only 3 out of who knows how many. But she's actually been spending her time getting a boob job, and who knows what else. She probably got other work done. And to make things even more sad, Terence, he just wants to know that she's okay. One thing I actually didn't like, though, is how they were grilling Yazan. I don't think he deserved that. They were asking him all these personal questions about their relationship, and you could tell he was uncomfortable. But the good news is that he is actually getting married. He found someone. So kudos to him. And up next is Danielle. We find out that she didn't really have any dates with Robert since the last one that we saw. It's actually kind of scary. He kind of always had an excuse to miss a meeting with her, but he seems to have had legit reasons. Like, he's had surgeries, he had near-death experiences, stuff like that. And I find that he's a nice guy, so I believe him, but he could be lying for all we know. But you know what? If he is lying, can you blame him, though? I mean, all she does is talk about Muhammad. I mean, we also find out that she and Muhammad actually talk a lot still, like on a daily basis, sometimes even more than once a day. Like, if you were Robert, you'd probably feel very uncomfortable that, she's talking to her ex-husband more than once a day sometimes. Like, that's just really weird, especially because of how they broke up. But besides that, at least they've actually managed to forgive each other and mend their friendship, so that's good to see. Now, I actually don't like Danielle's friends. I'd rather her chill with Muhammad than them anytime. I always felt that they kind of hang out with her to make themselves look better, and they clown her. Like, you could see it in some of the scenes. They do things just to get a laugh out of it. Of course, they played back the clip from the tell-all where Muhammad said what he said, which it was something that was unnecessary, but I do hear that she was pretty bad as well in their relationship. To be fair, though, it looked like they were doing what they did to Yazan earlier in this episode. They kind of put all this pressure on him. They're asking him, why aren't you intimate with this woman? And he does not strike me as someone who is good with pressure. Something to think about, though, and they do touch on this a bit, but the things that people do on these shows, it stays with them forever. When someone Googles her, like Danielle in this instance, they're only going to find bad stuff, and they're going to find that comment. People on these shows will never have a normal life again. And it's for the wrong reasons, of course.
Long miscommunication, so many problems, audio things. I mean, they need to learn how to respect people, okay? You're filming us, we are human beings. We have to be respected, okay?
No more Muhammad, no more. I don't like him.
You know, I never actually watched the season that this guy was on, but he is quite the diva, isn't he? But you know what? He actually brings up some good points. Check this out.
Your feelings to judge someone. Either you have an information to base on your judgment, otherwise do not judge people, because if your feelings are wrong, you may hurt someone.
He is damn right on that one.
Have you ever talked about how she's getting almost straight A's on her tests and everything? Have you ever talked about that?
Hey Danielle, props to you. And after he drops these bombs, he just straight up says he's never going to be on this show again. Now what's quite annoying is they actually go back to Ed again. What's cool though is we see Ed's mom, and I think she's one of the nicest side characters on the show. But you know what? Even she thinks that Ed should get older women. I still think it's like very weird that Liz actually liked Ed. At first, I thought it was because of the attention and maybe like the cult following she might get for being on the show. But I think she actually likes him. We find out that Ed wanted all of the attention all of the time, and he would even put that ahead of her actual feelings. And he does this to his daughter as well. But the thing about the daughter, I think she shouldn't have hated on Liz. I think she should have been helping her dad instead. And, you know, the thing with that, she's always calling him weird and all that, but this guy actually needs help. I mean, you guys seen it. The daughter reveals to us that these two have broken up 6 to 7 times since we last seen them. Something I actually agree on though is that she thinks that he actually just went to Vegas just for attention, and that's all. And now we see everyone's favorite couple to hate. Colt and Vanessa, they just deserve each other, I think. Well, we find out that Colt gave access to everything that he had, like his phone, his Instagram, even his Groupon apparently, but she still just 90% trusts him. Their big issue though is still like his increased sex drive apparently. I think this guy is gonna cheat on her because he wants sex 8 times a day, and I don't think any human being can fulfill that. And a weird talking point that comes up again is that he tells stories during, which I got nothing. Just watch the clip.
Quickly turns me off. It's just like, just rambles on forever.
Sorry, I'll shut the fuck up next time.
I've told you that a few times, and you still do it.
What is he saying when he's talking so much?
He always has to have a whole story. I don't understand why. It's like in the beginning, and I'm just like, okay, all right.
Debbie shows up and she has like the most amazing moment of all time and just shoves it all in Ed's face. It's amazing to watch, and I definitely recommend the episode just for that. What's very surprising, however, is that Debbie actually approves of Vanessa. She says that she's the perfect match for him right now, but she's not sure about the future, which is kind of confusing, but I guess we'll see where that goes. TLC seems to love Colt and all the drama that he brings, so I'm sure they'll be back eventually. Here's a taste of some of that Debbie versus Ed action.
Like
Your mom don't know too much about you, Ed.
Just stay out of it.
But I'm just trying to help you because you're getting upset.
Why does Colt do that? He's kind of like those kids on the playground that are just behind all their friends who are actually causing the trouble. They're like, yeah, I'm part of this too. On the real though, I think Colt may actually have a sex addiction, but it probably started off as a porn addiction, and then as his ego grew due to the show and like the women he was with, it kind of evolved, if you know what I mean. And that is all. For this episode, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. I was maybe overhyped because of it. Maybe the trailer was really good at doing what it's supposed to do, I guess, in hooking all of us. But I think they focused too much on Ed, and maybe even a bit too much on Danielle, which I don't find her situation that interesting. But let's take a look at the next episode and what's in store for us.
Next time on 90 Day, the Single Life Tell-All. Brittany, we expected you to be here.
You ghost me. You're not here today. Like, how do you expect me to take you serious?
How do you expect me to take you serious, you know?
No, we don't know. We don't. I know this. I know we've been sitting around here waiting on you.
What am I supposed to do? Like, you just don't get it.
Hang up the fucking phone.
Oh great, more reasons to hate Brittany. But Molly's just damn awesome. She's hilarious.
So, Ed and Liz, is there a future?
I still love him. Still want to be with him. No, Liz, like, listen, he came up to me behind the scenes and he told me to say hi to my roommate and that she's really pretty.
Oh, shit.
Okay, this whole thing is surprising in many ways. First of all, Liz still loves him, which, again, why? And also, I thought he was going to go for Fernando, but the roommate, that's really out of left field.
We cannot have this conversation without Colt's ex-girlfriend, Jess.
I come here for show the truth.
I never said he didn't cheat on you. I said he did cheat on you because he didn't give a shit about you.
Why are you no honest with
Do
me?
you listen when anybody talks?
Because he tried back with me. He tried back with me when I broke up with him.
Oh, shit.
Colt tried to get back with you.
Yeah.
Now, this is what I like to see. Colt under huge fire.
You said sometimes she can be crazy.
They call her La Vida Loca. She has much temper.
Robbie, have you seen Fernando's temper?
Just thank God the cameras weren't there all the time.
Oh, my God.
This one's kind of boring. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Molly is following you on social media?
Yes. You follow him on social media?
But I don't see what he's doing.
She see all my status on Instagram. So, that don't make sense.
You need closure?
God damn.
Now, this is what actually has me hyped up. Oh my God, the homie is here. Let's go.
You guys won't last 6 months.
You don't know anything, you idiot.
He's been such a rude, belligerent person to me all day.
Wow, who insulted me? Who constantly gaslights? Ed is a gaslighter. I can smell it on you.
Dude, you're crazy.
You're crazy.
Something is wrong with you psychologically.
Look at you. No. You think I'm crazy?
But listen.
And that is all, folks. If you have made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate the support. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. Like the video. Comment if you can. If there's anything you want to talk about, whether it's 90 Day or anything else, leave it in the comments. I will reply to you. And I will see you all next week. Have a great rest of your week. Peace out, everyone.